about a half an hour behind, making up some time.
Thank you, Senators, for providing the opportunity for Ohioans to share testimony with regards to medical cannabis. My name is Lauren Berlekamp. My parents are both doctorates in pharmacotherapy. I acknowledge my privilege in being able to have collegiate level conversations with them on a wide range of topics concerning public health, discussions to debates, with them and their colleagues. There are many reasons why 90% of Ohioans believe it should be legal and accessible, not only to those who are already ill, but also as a preventative therapy when it comes to medical cannabis. More than a decade ago, in 2003, the United States Department of Health and Human Services was awarded patent 6630507, which states that cannabinoids found in the cannabis plant are antioxidants and neuroprotectants, which limit neurological damage and treat cancer. This patent was the result of the scientific discovery of the endocannabinoid system in the 90s, during what was known as the decade of the brain. The endocannabinoid system is a human system that regulates activity between the immune system and the central nervous system, with receptors throughout our brains and our bodies. Pharmaceutical companies have been legally developing cannabinoid-based therapies working off of patent 6630507, while marijuana and its cannabinoids remain listed under the Controlled Substances Act, having no medical value, while its prohibition continues to be brutally enforced by the DEA and drug task forces across the U.S. Alcohol and tobacco aren't even on the list of controlled substances, and together they result in more deaths than any other vice. The state's largest industry is agriculture, and our farming communities are drowning in atrazine, glyphosate, neonicotinoids, and other chemicals that are neurotoxins and known endocrine disruptors, which contribute to the failing health of many farmers and their families. What a sad irony that this plant has been omitted from our means of wellness for nearly a century, and it can successfully treat the growing rates of neurological diseases like Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, epilepsy, ALS, fibromyalgia, and rare cancers that Ohioans young and old are facing. There is another public health problem facing Ohioans that I think is bigger than any consequence of legalizing cannabis. In 2012, the Ohio General Assembly passed a law that included a very disturbing legal precedent gagging the medical community from reporting the public health risks of certain proprietary chemicals designated as trade secrets used by the energy industry in Ohio. We accept an extraordinary amount of energy waste from other states, and that waste has been found to be filled with neurotoxins and radiation. According to data from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, it is disposed of in more than 200 active hazardous waste injection wells across the state. Since this law was passed, more than 1 billion gallons have been injected into Ohio. One of those injection wells is in Clyde, where the cause of a child cancer cluster is still up for debate. And Senator Burke, you were among the yay votes of Senate Bill 315. And this is what I want you to take away and understand from my statement. If we are not going to be investing public health resources to study the lasting effects of the overwhelming presence of neurotoxins in our watersheds, then the very least we could do is balance that exposure with unprecedented access and education of nature's neuroprotectants. The solution to pollution is cannabis. We must consider how the damage from these neurotoxins impacts Ohio families, pregnant mothers, and unborn children. As it turns out, a balanced endocannabinoid system is crucial for the miracle of life and healthy reproduction. Cannabinoids are even present in mother's breast milk for the development of the baby. We were designed this way, and it wasn't an accident. Cannabis has been part of human history for thousands of years, and it has only been in the last 100 that we've been brainwashed to think it was harmful. But science has proved otherwise. There's no shame in not knowing, only in refusing to learn. I remember in church when the preacher would call on the congregation to share their faith, and he would say, if you had the cure for cancer in your pocket, wouldn't you tell someone? Yeah. Canada, Mexico, and many other countries will be calling for an end to global marijuana prohibition during the United Nations Special Sessions on the World Drug Problem this April 19th, 20th, and 21st in New York. The drug conventions that established global prohibition were put in place prior to the discovery of the endocannabinoid system. And this is our opportunity to get on the right side of history. I do hope that by the end of your listening tour that this task force reaches the same conclusion these other nation states have, and a united North America can begin to end prohibition together.
All right, after Lauren,